Hey all, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and this time I'm going to go back to the days of anime and give you guys an awesome anime review, and this time I will give you Appleseed Ex-Machina. Oh yeah. Hey, how about that? I don't have to bend the covers as much for once. But yeah, I'm going to give you Appleseed Ex-Machina. And this is, as you probably can tell, is the sequel to the first Appleseed movie, and this one is a true sequel. It does follow it, just like how I think if you see the other show movie that they made, Appleseed 13, which is based off of like a bit of the Greek mythology. Which is another good show. I would urge you guys to check that one out. When I get that, I don't know if it's in a film format or a show format, but as you guys know, I would love to go through like anime with you guys when I get a chance and do a show-by-show basis. And I'll admit, if I get through all my anime films at once, then whatever anime show I start or am on, I will begin with that one, and we will go from there. But I'll only do complete series when I have complete series, because I know there's some things that they don't go through with every show. But or no, sorry, my bad. That I don't have everything, and there's shows that start at random points or different things, and I would like to show you guys things from the beginning. Sorry, my mind's a bit muddled at the moment. But this movie, Appleseed Ex-Machina, is it's a good movie. I happen to like the first one better because I like the story to that one much better. Where the if you guys have not seen the first movie too, once again spoilers. I'm about to go into it. So as you guys know, if you watch these reviews without seeing it, I urge you not to watch these reviews. Hey, look at that! I got one up right on time. But for this one, for the first movie, it was more about the council trying to euthanize mankind. They wanted bioroids to be the next perfect step of human evolution. They wanted them to be the humans and the original human race to just die out and go away. And with the terrorist attacks with Colonel Hades and General Uranus, I just thought that there was a lot more stuff going on in the first one. Now this one has the same thing because in Appleseed Ex Machina, it starts off with Dune and Newt and Briareos. Uh, Dune and Newt, by the way, is still voiced by Lucy Christian, who does a great job still as Dune and Newt, and Briareos is not voiced by, like I mentioned, David Montranga did the sequel in the last anime Appleseed video that I did, and this one he's voiced right here by David Montranga, given a, I believe, I don't want to say not a stronger appeal, because David Montranga can sound strong, but in a way it's like they wanted to bring a more youthful appeal out of Briareos, and in many ways I think they succeeded in that, but I personally liked Jameson Price a bit more than David Montranga, but I'm not saying you're bad, David Montranga. You're good, but I just think Jameson Price's voice fit the character better. But you are just as good in this movie as he is. So respect to you. Not saying I do not like the work that you did, David Montranga, because you are really good as well. And he voices Briareos, and they're working together, and there's like a terrorist attack at the beginning, and this terrorist attack is done by a bunch of rogue cyborgs, and they go in, as you know, they save the hostages that these cyborgs have captured and have taken, and Dune and Briareos, clean house and do what they need to do, and they get to one of the last cyborgs, and the cyborg says, "We will all be one at one point. We will be, we are Halcon." And the cyborg puts off the bomb. Briareos gets in the way of Dunin, and he jumps out, but then the part of the church that they were being, that the hostages and the cyborgs were in, explodes, and Briareus gets injured, and Dunanute finds it her fault, and she's trying to see Briareus while injured, and she's happy he's okay and things are going well, and she's just moving about her day. She then learns of a crazed man in a mech suit, in a construction mech suit, going nuts and just, having about with his workers and in his area and doing all these bizarre things. And she goes in to try and take down the mech suit. She does it well on her own, but there is another soldier, Eastwat guy, who, who shows up in a landmate, and he's helping her fight. He or she, I should say. And when the fight's done and Dunan and this E-SWAT member and the landmate take down the guy in the construction mech suit, she gets out to congratulate him. Commander Lance comes up and basically says Dunan has a new partner, and she finds out it's this guy here, right there, Turius. Yeah, Turius. And she's shocked because Turius, as they show in a really quick flashback from her memory, looks like Briareus, the way before Briareus got injured and was made with a full-on cyborg body. She doesn't like this, of course, and she really just complains about it and just gets on Commander Lance's place, just like grills him. She goes to Nikke, grills Nikke, asks why that it goes on, and she wanted to even go to Athena, but Nikke wouldn't let it go that far, and Nikke basically told Dunanute in a nutshell that the reason that Turius looks like Briareus is a perfect candidate for the first step in making soldier-like, you know, um, bioroids, where they can take DNA from soldiers as well as Carl Newt's original DNA that they put in all the bioroids, and they can make, I guess you could say they can make copies of living soldiers and people who fought before. And I guess I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I see where Duning's coming from, and I could see why if anyone else would have a problem too, because are they different, are they real, da 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 da. And they actually take that to a far point in this movie, to like good lengths. It's not like oversaturated or overdone, but it's a really good thing of where, is Briareus still his human self? Is Turius a replacement for that? Can Dunan still love Briareus? Is Turius going to take Briareus' place in that love? So have what on you. So there's like a weird love triangle and tension between Briareus, Dunan, and Turius when they all find out about it, because Briareus is not happy that his face is on Turius, and he calls Turius a copy, and Turius mentions throughout the film a couple of times that I'm the better version of you, and like I said, just bad tension between the characters. And the movie goes on, and it seems like there's more terrorist and cyborg activities, and whoever this villain is, there is these wireless things that people wear all around town, where you can check their messages, watch TV, like basically do anything. And these devices actually get people in trouble to where they're activated by like a switch or a sound, and they start attacking Olympus. And during these times of Olympus, all the world leaders are meeting to like have a universal link up of satellites that are led through the utopia of Olympus, to where they can keep the world safe and avoid any other world wars. Which there's businesses and prime ministers and counselors who are happy about it. There's ones who believe that Olympus is going to be the one world government that controls everything, and they're all going to be obsolete, having to fall under the jurisdiction of Olympus. And Athena tries to assure them that's not the case, and there's tension during that. But then when the civilians who are being controlled by this one device, by whatever this Halcon is, they panic and say, we need to leave. This whole thing is done. The city is dangerous. And Athena's like, well, this very stuff is why we have to have this summit. Why we are trying to work together and why we all need to link our satellites, because it's for this very reason why we need to ensure this peace so this stuff doesn't happen. And as everything goes on, you realize that there's a bigger threat and someone wants to end this peace and someone wants to put their stamp on ending all this thing, and it goes upon to which I will tell you what the villain's motives were, but as a spoiler, once again, if you do not want it ruined, don't watch, because I do go into who it will be. So once again, if you don't want to know, don't watch this and stop, seeing it so I don't ruin it for you. But the villain's plan is to basically use anyone who has his system on through these playthings or whatever these vid things are, to take them over and have them be the one perfect human unity. Like, he wants complete unity for people, but not in the way that Olympus and the counselors and the world government are trying to do it. He wants unity his way, through a singular consciousness where there will be no hatred, no fear, once again, no love, and a lot of other things, because he thinks that's the only way that the world will survive is through perfect, united consciousness. And it's nutty, it's messed up, but you see his point, and it's bizarre. It's completely dumb, because it's like, in a way, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where the aliens want to have that same thing, where you're all in a united consciousness and there's no originality. You're basically just a zombie. So in many ways, that's what this person was. And before I get to who this person is, I forgot to mention Turius. Once again, Turius here is greatly voiced by Ilyich, if I'm saying the name right, Ilyich Guardiola. Great voice actor, great character, plays a lot of good characters in other anime, and I think this may be one of the few where Ilyich Guardiola plays a good guy, because in a lot of things he's like a villain or a small-time character who doesn't have a lot to do, but this is the first time where he plays like a type of hero. And also, to the end parts now, where once again, if you don't want them spoiled, look away again. But the villain is a man who worked with another scientist. I forget the scientist's name, but she was a female and a leading researcher in, psychology and healing the human mind for brain damaged patients and repairing the human mind. And her boyfriend, Dr. I want to say Dr. Kress, but I think it's Kessner. Dr. Kessner is a man who I believe was in love with her, was helping her on the project, I think was his second in command, and he had witnessed her death. I don't know if he caused her death or if she had been killed by somebody who was on the project, but she was murdered either by Kessner or by somebody else. They don't go into it really. And Kessner decided to take this doctor's body of his girlfriend and put it into a machine and make her a cyborg while keeping her alive, and she should have stayed dead. And he uses her to put his plan in motion for the single-wide utopia. And he actually goes as far as to not only affecting members of C-SWAT, but he affects Briareos as well. When Briareos was injured, he used Briareos as a patsy and a pawn to move his plans forward, so Briareos would lose control, not have control of himself, and just lose all functionality, and he actually ends up being arrested at some point in the film, and as you can imagine, because he's a powerful cyborg, breaks out and all that good stuff, but Dr. Kessner was the bad man behind all this, and, in a way, I know it's going to sound weird, and you guys can disagree with me, and if you want to, mention it in the comments, but I felt a little bad for Dr. Kessner because I think there was a reason why Dr. Kessner did this. Now, it is mad, it is nutty, and I don't condone what Dr. Kessner did. But in a way, you feel bad for his character. You feel bad for what you learn later on, and you feel bad that he had to go to such lengths when he could have used this technology for other greater things. But in fact, he just loses out to his own insanity, and that's the sad thing. And it even gets to the point where, so Kessner can move his plans in motion, Kessner kills himself to implicate Briareos, so Briareos will be actually killed, and things will still go through with his plan, so Briareos doesn't ruin Kessner's ideals or his project. And Kessner is actually voiced by John Gramillion, I do believe. Well, let me take a look again. I'm going to try to look that up for a minute, but I was going to say either John Gramillion or John Swayze, because both those guys can sound familiar. I want to say it's John Gramillion, but I don't know if that's really true, but sorry about that. Get off my... Sorry, guys. Computer's going nutty. But, see here, I'm going to see if I can find it with the U.S. Internet Movie Database. Because I want to make sure I get it right. I don't want to credit the wrong person if it can be avoided. But, let's see here. See here, there we go. Appleseed. There it is. Ex-Machina. Well, fudgy wudgy. Let me see if they give, come on, you website. Oy. Really? Why do you only have... Oh, and that was her name. Dr. Xander. That was her name. And it was Kessner. So, yeah. God darn it, let me... Sorry, guys. Oh, man. But yeah, also as well, this film is still directed by Shinji Aramaki, who did the first film. And, you know, I have to say it's a good job. And also, for those of you who probably would like, the reason the action is a bit more buffed up and wild in this one is because John Woo helped produce the movie. So you can see a lot of John Woo's mannerisms in this film. And it's really cool what he was able to put out and do and make it an entertaining thing. And also, once again, there's a part in the film too where you actually have near the end once again where Turius is actually injured when they were trying to break into Dr. Xander's labyrinth and Kessner's labyrinth of mind machines and whatnot. And he gets hurt, and he's like, you know, just let me die, they can remake me. And, you know, Doonan actually says, no, they can't remake another one of you, you know, you're one of a kind. And I thought that was a very sweet thing. And overall, you know, it has the same, you know, stance of, you know, the first film, and it goes within, you know, what is real, what can we do, you know, are we able to actually do these things, you know, correctly and not really get things mixed up. But I mean, you never know what could take place, and it is really a bit of a dangerous, you know, game to play, because once again, you can see what Dr. Kessner wanted to do, but at the same time, it was a maddening idea. But at the same time, it focuses on these core roles, and once again, it really brings this idea of peace that's very entertaining and just, you know, great stuff all along. And oh yeah, Okay, so I was right for the first one. It is actually John Gramillion. So it is John Gramillion who does an awesome work, the work of Dr. Kessner. And as I can now finally say, sorry for weirdly extending this, but the animation is way more real-like. It's not as anime, and that's actually what Shinji Aramaki and the creators wanted to do for this one. They wanted something that was anime-like, yet also had a real feel flavor to it, so it wasn't as cartoony, so they could also possibly get into the market of where you can have it be anime, but also where it can be real enough, and they wanted to extend to more than just the anime crowd, which I can see, because they said the first movie did well, and it stood more to more of the anime crowd. So they wanted to broaden it more for this movie. Shinji Aramaki, John Woo, everybody was in agreement to that. Another thing that had changed too is, you guys know the first film was rated R, and this one is a rating of PG-13. And I had learned through the audio commentary of the movie that they wanted the first one to be PG-13 too, but like I said, that one scene, like I said, where it was rated R for some violence, the one scene of the guy's head getting crushed with the gore, that's what got the movie to be rated R. So the fact that this one didn't have anything that graphic, they were able to get the PG-13 rating. And also, like with the effects, they were able to do more with the on-screen characters, and they were able to have more stuff in it that made things really cool and good. And it was, I mean, overall, it is a good movie. And let's see, who did the? Oh yeah, the music score was done by Tetsuya Takahashi. It's got a good, like, vibrant, melodical, uh, like robotic type score, but it also gives hope, triumph, fear, all that good stuff. It's a great score by the composer, and overall, like I said, a good film. I would give this one a. I gave the original a 10 out of 10, or I believe a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, somewhere near there. I really should go back and watch the old video, but I've been doing that, but I haven't reached that one yet for a while again. But I'd have to say I give this one a solid like 8 out of 10, because it wasn't as good as the first movie to me, but I enjoyed the action, I enjoyed the story, the characters are there, all the original characters are there. Nike, Athena, Hitomi, Yoshitsune, Yoshitsune, or Yoshi for short, and Commander Lance and all the guys there. And I like this one because Commander Lance is actually given a bigger role. He was sort of like here and there in the first movie, but he's given a bigger role in this one. And you get to see more of the Eastwalk guys, which are cool as well. And it's altogether a great film. So, let me know, guys, what you thought of Appleseed Ex-Machina. Did you like the sequel? Did you not like it? I also found out while looking through Internet Movie Database that there's actually a Appleseed Alpha. So I think that's another movie too. I think it may also be a part of Appleseed 13. I'm not too sure, but it was made in 2014, so I'm thinking they could be different. But I'll try to check it out and see that one for you guys too if I ever get a chance. Which more likely I may, because I've been collecting a lot of anime recently. So just let me know what you thought, and, please keep watching, subscribe to the videos, and, for more content, go to my channel at 012 Boku, and, find more, hopefully, great movie reviews for you guys. So until then, this is 012 Boku, and I will see you guys another time, alright? Bye-bye.